So, welcome back to another episode of Living the Sky Life. I am here today with the last sibling of my sibling series, Claire Thomas. So, welcome to the podcast, Claire.
Thank you.
I have to be fully transparent that it's kind of a small world because, as I was telling Claire before we started recording, I went to high school with both of her parents, and it's it's just kind of a blast from the past because honestly, I didn't know that you had a sibling on the spectrum until maybe a year or two ago. I just kind of realized that through some of the posts from your parents on social media and things, and so I'm really excited that you're willing to talk to me today and and get into all the things siblings of autism. So can
Mhm.
you start by telling us a little bit about you? What year you are in school and what your hobbies and extracurriculars are that you're involved in?
I'm a sophomore in high school. I really enjoy swimming. I've been doing swimming probably for like I think like 8 years. I've been doing swimming,
Cool.
and the season just ended like a couple weeks ago. So I love swimming a lot. It's really fun. I also like photography. I like doing photography a lot. I have a camera that I use a lot. Um, I really like being outside too. Being outside is pretty fun, and I like hunting with my dad. And I'm actually in it's an explorers program with like the Michigan State Police. So it's like kids that like are interested in law enforcement. So I'm doing that, which is really fun. I actually have a meeting today at 3 o'clock after this. So
Nice. Well,
yeah,
that's cool. Now, your mom works for the police department, right? And is
yeah,
your grandpa a detective? Is that? I can't
yeah. He
remember.
was, yeah,
Okay. He's
hmm
retired. That's awesome. So it's
yeah,
all in the
mhm,
family.
yeah,
Well, that's cool. Is that what you think you
uh-huh.
maybe want to go into when you
Yeah,
graduate?
for sure. Yeah,
Nice. Well, that's good to already
mhm,
have a plan at your sophomore
yeah,
year. Geez, I think most of us don't have a clue what we want to do with
yeah,
ourselves. Well, we are talking predominantly because your younger sister Leah, who is 12, is on the spectrum. And I did this series because I get so many questions from other families because my kids are 2 years apart and they're older. Kendall's 18, Skylar's 20,
mhm,
and people just have questions just about their relationship and what it's been like raising a neurotypical child that does all of the milestones and all of the things traditionally on time, and then having my son Skylar, who is delayed in everything and just takes a different type of parenting.
mhm,
So, from your perspective, you were what, 3 when Leah was born. So
yes,
I know that was a long time ago, and I don't expect you to
mhm.
unpack all of that. But as she became a toddler and you were getting older, were you able to interact with her or play with her, or did you know right away that something was a little different with her development?
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of recognized, like, she wasn't like me in a sense, so it was really hard for me to, like at first, it was really hard for me to, like, understand, like, her different needs and how to engage with her because, like, I had, like not at 3, I didn't have, like, other friends, but I had, like, other people that I talked to and, like, people from school. I think I was in school then, but
Hmm.
from people at school and, like, I recognized, like, I couldn't engage with her like I could with my friends, so it was a little bit hard to, like, understand how she, like, processed things, and, like, there was times where we would, like where I'd try playing with her and I'd, like, do something, like, that she wasn't used to, and she'd kinda, like, react to it differently, and that'd kinda, like, make me confused, so I had, like, a lot of confusion, but
Yeah. Was she fussy and just kind of cried a lot? I mean, as a little kid,
yeah, a little
that's annoying
yeah.
anyway. But did it seem like has it seemed like from then through the years that she's needed extra attention from maybe your mom or both of your parents? And how do you deal with that even now? Is that something
Yeah.
that is a problem for you?
Yeah, when I was little, since, like, I didn't quite understand, I would get a little bit like, obviously, I would get, like, a little bit jealous when, like, because I didn't quite understand when they would
Hmm.
give her, like, extra attention, and I wouldn't really know what's going on, so I'd, like it was a little bit harder for me when I was little. I think they're, like, when I was, like I think up until I was, like, 7 or 8, it was a little bit hard for me, and then I kinda, like, started to pick up and understand as she, like, matured. So, it was, like it still is, like we both, like, do a lot of things with our parents, which is, like, amazing, I love it, but, um, so now I'm a lot more, like I know what she needs, I help with what she needs, and, like, I think, like, everything's, like, shared, so we just like, my parents and I, like, split a lot of things, and we do a lot of activities together now since we all understand, like, her needs and how she's different.
Has that gotten easier then? I would imagine you guys had to do a lot of divide and conquer, like, especially for your
Yes.
swim meets and things like that, that
Yeah.
might not have been a place that she enjoyed sitting through. Those meets
Mhm.
can be long sometimes. So
Yeah.
did your parents have to decide who was gonna hang with her and who was gonna
Mhm.
attend your stuff? Yeah. Is that's
Yeah.
hard as a kid, isn't
A
it?
little
To
bit, yeah.
yeah. But
Because,
now
like
it's not
yeah,
that
yeah.
bad. Yeah.
No. She's actually, last year, I think she went to one of my swim meets, and she wouldn't stop asking about it. She wanted to go back, and she's like,
Aw.
"I wanna see Claire swim. I wanna see Claire swim. I wanna see the swimming pool." So, it was, like it's a really good thing. So, this year, she came to, like, I think, like, 3 all the home meets, I think she came to, and she really enjoyed them, actually. She sat through it really well, and, like, she after it, she, like, said, like, "Good job," and stuff, and it made me really happy, so
Aw, that's sweet. I'm sure it is
mhm.
nice to see her out in the stands, watching you
Yeah.
or whatever. That's cool. And it's nice that your
Mhm.
parents are able to go together and that you guys
Yeah.
can go as a
Mhm.
family to those things.
Yeah.
I'm sure you understood and
Mhm.
obviously didn't harbor any resentment to the parent who wasn't able to go, but it's
Yeah.
sometimes do you wrestle with those feelings sometimes? Like, do you want to say to your parents or do you say to your parents, like, this is just not fair? I'm just tired of
A little
you guys
bit,
not being
yeah.
able to come together to things.
Yeah. Cause like, sometimes we don't have someone to watch her. Cause my grandparents play, like, a really big role in it because, like, they watch her a lot
That's
when both my
nice.
parents wanna go, so it's very nice, I'm very grateful for them, and I'm sure my parents are too. So, like but there's some days where they both can't make it, so it's like, I'm kinda, like, watching the stands, I'm like, "Oh," like, but it's like they do really good with, like, handling it. I don't know how they do it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't either a lot of
Mm.
times.
Yeah.
So Claire's in middle school and you're in high school. So there might have been a time, I guess, where you guys overlap in the schools 1 year at least, like your senior
Yeah,
year, she'll be a freshman. So what is it like? Everybody in for those of you listening, our small town of Marshall is very small.
mhm.
Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah,
Everyone knows everyone's siblings. So everybody knows Leah's your sister, I would
yeah.
imagine. So
Mhm.
how do your friends, how have they engaged with her and with you over the years? Are they embracing her or
Mhm.
do they ask a lot of questions? What has that been like?
Yeah, I'm actually, like so my best friend Lexi, she's in my grade, and I've known her for, like, I think, like, 10, 12 years. She's been, like, my first friend, so I'm, like, really grateful for her. She always comes over, she always plays with Leah, she engages with her, she always asks her how, like, school's been, and a lot of my other friends, like, they'll be like, "Oh, you have a sister?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'll show them a picture of her, and they're like, "Oh, she's so cute, like, I wanna meet her, like, I love her already," and it's like, it's so nice. Everyone's so nice about it, so
Well, that's good.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, does she so when there's like homecoming dances and things like
Mhm.
that, does she want to be around all of your friends? Does she, just try to gravitate to them right away?
Yeah, so she's a little bit shy, like, to begin with,
Okay.
she's a little bit shy, she says she mumbles a little bit, and she's like, "Hi," like, she says her name and stuff, and she's kinda reserved a little bit when there's, like, bigger groups of people, and she giggles a lot, which when there's, like, a little bit of people around, she's very shy.
Aw, that's cute. Well, so now
Mhm.
she's at the middle school, and so
Yeah.
what does her schooling look like? I mean, honestly, I don't know how our school system back home,
Mhm.
how they navigate special needs. Is there a pretty good program, or is she fully immersed into all of the classes with everyone that's her peer?
Okay, so in high school, it's called, like I don't know if this is what the whole class is called, but in high school, I think it's the same way in the middle school, but they have, like, a separate classroom for, like, the special needs kids and, like, everybody else, and there's this, like, program called Links where,
Okay.
like, kids from school can, like, volunteer and, like, be partnered up with, all the other kids. So she does that. She made a lot of new friends that way, and I'm really happy. She has like a ton of friends. Everybody loves her at school. Um, and at the high school, it's the same way. So when she's yeah, when I'm a senior and when she's a freshman, I'm planning on doing Link so I can be with her a little bit more.
Hmm.
Um, and actually in the middle school, I think it started with a G, but she just switched out and she was the one that like teached the the whole thing.
Hmm.
So like I think she like moved out like Friday actually. Friday
Aw.
was her last day. So it was a little bit of a bummer. We were all kind of sad about it. So I think they're trying to find someone to like take up the role that she had.
Hmm.
Because now there's just like assistants, I'm pretty sure that's helping, but no, they're all really nice. I think they all know what they're doing and stuff. So
Well,
it's
I
really
love
nice.
that
I
they
like all the
have that.
programs.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, especially
Mhm.
because those students I'm imagining that are buddied up with
Mhm.
like Leah, they're all in the same grade, so they're all going to go to high school together. So hopefully they
Yeah.
can maintain
Mhm.
those friendships and keep those buddies going all the way through high school.
Yeah.
It would make the transition so much easier
It
too
would,
for
yeah.
switching buildings and schools and all of
Mhm.
that. Well, hopefully you will get to see her, just in the halls
Yeah.
and, throughout the day.
Mhm.
It'll probably make her feel good knowing that you're there
Yeah.
and you're the big senior. So you're
Yeah, I
going to
know.
be able to look out for her and help her
Uh-huh.
out. Um, we talked a little bit before we started recording too, just about communication. And it's great that Leah is able to communicate with you guys and explain things. And I'm guessing there are struggles with feelings and specifics that she wants and needs,
Mhm.
which is very common. Feelings is a hard one for a lot of people on
Yeah.
the spectrum. But is that something that has gotten easier? I know you said, just taking her with you guys to family gatherings and just going out as a family is easier now that she's older. I would imagine she's able to tell you guys like, I don't want to go to that or I don't want to do
Mhm.
that. Is she pretty clear with what she wants and
Yeah,
doesn't
she
want?
is mostly,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she like, the only mainly thing is, like, feelings or, like, if she's sick, like, we'll ask her, like, what hurts, and she doesn't really know, like, how to say what hurts or, like, how bad she's feeling. So it's kind of a struggle, like, if she's not feeling good in the morning, we have to, like, determine if she should go to school or not because she doesn't know how to tell us,
Hmm.
like, how bad she feels. So we have to, like, kinda, like we mainly base it, like, if she has a temperature and stuff and, like, because she doesn't really know how to tell us, like, a normal like, I would be like, "My head really hurts," or something like that. She doesn't really know how to, like, communicate that with us.
Do you guys just kind of point to every spot on the
Yeah, we
body? I mean,
point.
with Skylar, I just have to go head to toe, like, and
Mhm.
he won't point to what hurts, but at least
Yeah,
if you could ask her, does your head hurt? And she can kind of
yeah,
maybe say, yeah, I guess it
yeah.
does.
It's a little bit of a struggle with that because like, she has, like if we say, like so, like, "Do you want, like, a purple, like, toy, or do you want, like, a blue toy?" There's always point to the one that we say the last. So, if it's, like, purple or blue, and then we go blue or purple, and she always picks the one that we say on the last one. So she kinda mimics, like, where we point to, so it's a little bit hard to do that.
That's funny. Skylar used
Yeah.
to do that with Peck's pictures. It was always the one
Mhm.
closest to his right hand since he's right-handed. That's the
Yeah.
one he would grab, even if we switched
Mhm.
them. We're like, I don't get it. Are you hungry or not? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get what
Yeah.
this means. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. Well, she sounds incredible. Is there something that specifically like bonds the two of you or something that you love and admire so much about Leah?
Mhm. So I really she loves walks. She loves going outside and walking around. I love being outside too. So, especially when it's warm, we go on a lot of walks. We have like the river walk on like
Hmm.
the Kalamazoo River right downtown. We go on that. She loves that. She loves swimming. We used to go camping. We still do, just not as often at like Turkeyville. And the pool there, she's obsessed with swimming. So me and her like to swim a lot too.
That's cool.
We take the boat out. She loves being on the boat because she can swim. It's really fun. We have a lot of things in common.
Now, does she understand seeing the deer heads behind you or the does
Oh.
she understand the hunting and like with those hung in your house, does that I never thought about that before, but just seeing them, it made me wonder, like, does she understand that? Does that clearly it doesn't bother her, I'm guessing, to see Those
Yeah, she kinda, like, points and she's like, "Oh, there's, like, deer and stuff." She's not scared of it at all.
yeah,
She just, like, points and she's like, "Oh, Claire got a deer," and, like, I haven't
she's
got
probably
one
proud
this
of
year,
you.
but yeah, yeah. Like, when we bring them in, like, I haven't got one this year, but she'll, like, come out and she'll look at it. She doesn't wanna touch it, but she'll, like, look at it. She's not afraid of it. She just doesn't really like, she's not really comfortable getting super close to it, but she'll be like, "Oh, it's a deer," and she'll, like, point at it. She'll point at its nose and its antlers and stuff, so
Yeah. Does
she's pretty good
she
with it, yeah.
I know that's a special thing that you and your dad share. Does she
Mhm.
have something with your dad or with your mom, that they like to do together with her, just kinda individually?
Yeah, they both, like, really like kayaking. Mom like, whenever I'm, like pretty much on the weekends, like, every single weekend, like, if I was at a friend's house or something, they go kayaking a lot together, and dad fishes and Leah mom and Leah have, like, I don't know the word for it, like, a tandem kayak, so there's, like, 2 seats, and she
Okay.
has a paddle. Leah has a paddle, and she kinda, like, tries to paddle a little bit, so it's really
Well,
fun
that's
for
cool
them.
that they have
Mhm.
that. It's so hard for us to find something because, like you said, with even with communication, if communication isn't as big of a struggle as it is like in our house, just really knowing if they like something or they don't like it, or if they're
Yeah.
just doing it because we just said, let's go do this. So to
Mhm.
find something that she makes her giggle and happy, and
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that something that they stumbled upon a long time ago, like the kayaking thing?
I think it was, like, 2 years ago at
Oh, okay.
most.
Well,
Like, just
cool.
found it and she fell in love with it, she loved it.
Aw, I love that. Well,
Yeah.
so what do you want people to know about life with your only sibling being on the spectrum? I'm sure it's taught you a lot of things, but there's so
Yeah.
many misperceptions about your life that maybe
Mhm.
it's people think, gosh, it's just not fair and it's miserable for her because she doesn't
Mhm.
have a sister that can do all the things that typical siblings do, and it's not miserable. I mean, I'm
No,
speaking on
it's
your
really
behalf,
not,
but
no.
what do you want people to know what your life has been like?
I just really want them to know, like, in my opinion, she's like a regular person to me, like, we have a lot of things in common. I wish, like, people could see, like, that they don't necessarily have to, like, treat other people differently because of, like, how they act and, like 'cause, like, a lot of people, like, see, like, if me and Leah and, like, everybody else are in public and she's or something like that, or she's, like, focusing on something,
Hmm.
like, really strictly she's focusing on something, they'll kinda, like, look around, and it's like I just feel, like, kind of, like, upset when, like I don't know if they're, like, judging her, or, like, just looking at her and, like, "Oh, that person's kinda different," like, I wish I could, like, bring them into my house and, like, have them, like, stay, like, a week and see what it's like because, like, it's amazing, like, the funny thing about her is, like, she watches, like, Paw Patrol and stuff, and she, like, recites, like, quotes from the show, so it's really funny, and she copies me a lot, and she'll, like, dance around, like, if I'm, like, doing something around the house and I'm, like, singing or something or, like, dancing or whatever, she'll, like, dance with me and stuff. So, like, in my opinion, it's like having, like, a normal sister.
Uh-huh. Well, and
Mhm.
she is, yeah, she is normal in
Yeah.
every respect. It's interesting, like you said, I'm sure she just idolizes you so much because you're her big sister. Any little
Mhm.
sister idolizes their big sister and copies
Yeah.
them and follows them around. But to the degree at which she does it, it's probably very heartwarming, I would imagine,
Mhm.
too. And it gets you a chance to be a kid too. Watching Paw Patrol can't be all bad. I
Yeah.
mean, we watch a ton of Elmo
Mm-mm.
around here.
Mhm.
Again. So
Yeah.
that's nice that you guys can watch that stuff together and that you don't mind watching it with her.
No.
Aw. So, knowing that you're not too far from graduating from high school and what you want to do with yourself and your career, have you given any thought to your sister and like the future? And have those conversations come up with your parents at all with you? I just never know. I mean, I ask this of all of the kids that have, or the young adults that have been on the podcast, because
Mhm.
I get that question a lot too. When do I bring this up to my daughter? And we've had a
Yeah.
couple conversations, but I just didn't know if it's something your parents have felt comfortable talking to you about, or if you've proactively brought it up to them.
Yeah, like, we haven't I don't really think we've talked about it, but I do kinda, like, wonder, like, how it would be because like I don't know, it's kind of confusing to think about. Like I said, we've never really talked about it. I think
Hmm.
will start talking about it soon, just like how it's gonna change like after I graduate or like how it's gonna be after I graduate. So it's like a weird concept to think about because I've never
Hmm.
really thought about it before.
It
It's not
is.
scary in a sense, but it's like I don't know what I'm gonna like do. Like I don't know the plan.
Yeah, and then that's a lot of reason why parents don't bring it up because we don't want the
Mhm.
pressure on you
Mhm.
to worry about it, to think about it. So we try to plan everything out so that you literally just kind of have to oversee it when we're not here to do it anymore, but that you
Mhm.
don't have to fend for every need that she has in the future
Mhm.
and take care of her. So I was
Yeah.
just curious if they've brought it up to you or if when you comfortable to just say, hey, you guys want to talk about this? Maybe they're waiting for you,
Yeah.
when you're 20 or
Yeah, maybe,
25 or
yeah.
30
Mhm.
to say, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
If we haven't already. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I just was thinking, knowing that you want to go into the police force in some form or fashion and that your mom is also works in that career. Does your sister stim in public or anything like that? I'm always curious what the community um, police and fire department and everyone knows about autism and if
Mhm.
they are equipped to handle stims or behaviors that might seem like they're combative but they're not,
Mhm.
and just to kind of manage that. Do you know if that's something that maybe your mom has introduced to the police force or something you maybe want to
Um,
focus on in your career?
yeah, I think so in my Explorers program, I think I've talked about it a little bit. We always do like introductions, like if we have a new person like joining and we always talk about that. And I've kind of like gotten on the topic of that with a couple of people and like how it's like and stuff. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure like everybody knows about it and like are aware of it. And like yeah, she kind of has so she has like Paw Patrol little figures that she has. You can carry them around and she has like those like little like globe bottles with like the glitter and stuff that you shake and like it
Uh-huh.
kind of like makes she has one of those. She really likes those. Um and, like, when she brings a couple of them to school, we give her, I think we give her, 2 things of choice that she can take to school, and I think that helps a lot with, like, her anxiety and, like, how she deals with things in public because I feel like it helps a lot to, like, touch something or, like,
Hmm.
rub it, like, between your hands or, like, play with something. And I think we noticed, like, if she doesn't have something, she, like, picks at, like, her arm. She has a couple scabs on her arms, especially in the summer, it gets really bad when there's mosquito bites, and she,
Hmm.
like, gets, like, anxious to those, and she, like, picks at them a lot, so we have to, like, wrap them and stuff. But I feel like it's a lot better when she, like, has something to, like, keep her hands occupied with.
Hmm. Does she have, if she doesn't have any of those things, are you able to calm her? Does she gravitate to one person like your mom, your dad, or you when she needs soothing and she needs calming? If she's screaming or if there's something that
Mhm.
triggers her, are you able to kind of intervene now? Do you know enough about how to calm her down? Or is that more of your
Yeah.
parents?
Yeah, my mom I mainly learn a lot of stuff from my mom because she knows, like, a lot on how to handle it because like, she talks with, like, her teachers and stuff, and she does
Hmm.
all that. So, like, I mainly, like, try and communicate with my mom on, like, how I can, like, improve how I react, cause like, it helps, like she'll be, like, picking at her arm, we'll be like, "Leah, like, you can't pick," or, like, "Let's play with something to, like, distract your hands," and she'll kinda, like if we have to remind her a lot, she'll be like, "I'm not picking," like, she'll kinda, like, get defensive about it. She's like, "I'm not doing anything." So, and, like, when she's having, like, a lot of, like, a hard time, I remember we used to say, "Leah, you have to, like, look me in the eyes," and, like, we're right now, her teacher told my mom, like, she's like, "Work on, like, big belly breaths with her." So we do, like, a lot of, like, breathing, and she also does we just discovered this, and I think it's really great. She does there's, like, a yoga thing on, like, TV with I think she might be, like, British or something, and, like, there's a lot of, like she does yoga, but, like, the background is, like there's always a different background and there's like always like a story that goes along with the yoga. So it'll be like in a jungle or something, and the background will be a jungle, and so like do like stretches based on like being in the jungle or something,
Hmm.
like climbing up like a tree or something. Or she really likes those. We have her do those all the time. She really likes them.
Is that on YouTube? Something that you could find on YouTube, or is it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
That's
I think it's
cool.
called like I think it's called Cosmic Kids. So she
Okay.
really likes it.
That's neat. It's so great when we
Mhm.
stumble on something and just
Yeah.
randomly they're like, "Oh," and we're like, "Where was
Mhm,
this
yeah,
10 years
yeah.
ago?"
I
or
know,
whatever.
yeah.
If it's something you need to calm her down. Oh, well, it sounds like you guys have a pretty incredible bond and you're a very patient person. I would think that just growing up with Leah and in your household, you've developed some traits that maybe your friends don't have the appreciation of having yet. Your
Mhm.
maturity obviously is
Oh, yeah,
far
yeah.
beyond what should
Mhm.
be at 15, but are there any other things that you can kind of look at in yourself? Maybe you didn't realize it until recently, until you've aged. Like, wow, I'm like a lot stronger than I thought I was, or just
Mhm.
the way that you've had to handle things in your family.
I've noticed that I have a lot more, like, patience than, like, people my age, like, and I can, like yeah, I can, like, handle, like, high stress situations a little bit better, like, I think I don't know, but there's, like in my program, we do a lot of, like, high stress situations, and I feel like I do pretty good with those, like, someone will be, like, yelling or something, and, like, high stress situations, I feel like I do really well with, and, of course, like, maturing, like, I'm a lot like, I feel like I'm a lot more mature than, like, a lot of people my age, like, I think about things more and, like, I recognize things, like, smaller things I recognize that's a lot different than other people, and I've actually had, like, a lot of people come up to me and they're like, "You're, like, adults and stuff," and, like, my teachers have, like, said things to me like, "You're, like, really mature for, like, 15, like, you're, like, I wouldn't know that you were
Right.
15 if, like, you didn't tell me," and so I just noticed, like, a lot of, like, smaller things I'm, like, a little bit more, like, I recognize
Yeah,
because, like I know how, like I just have, like, a lot of, like I'm trying to think of the word, sorry.
that's okay. I
Um,
would say you're very empathetic too, and maybe that's
yeah.
one of the things. But um, I would hope that friends of siblings like you have learned just in seeing your interactions with your sister to be kinder to other people too. Even if they don't
Yeah, that's a
live
big
with
thing.
this on a daily
Mhm.
basis, they've learned it from you and watching you. And that's one of the biggest, I feel like, benefits of having a sibling on the spectrum that
Yeah, for
all of you
sure.
guys take away because you're, without knowing it, you're teaching peers your age
Mhm.
to be kinder to people that are different and that have unique characteristics about them, and not judging people and
Yeah.
gossiping and just all of that stuff.
Mhm.
You don't have time for that. So
Yeah, right.
you're not doing it and maybe they're learning from you. Would you say that's probably the case too with some of your closest friends, that they're probably more
Yeah.
empathetic because
Mhm.
they hang around you?
Yeah, it makes me really happy because, like, I feel like all my friends, like, understand on, like, a deeper, like, meaning of, like, understanding how Leah acts and, like, how, like, other people like Leah act and, like, how to handle it and how to not judge as much. It makes me really happy.
Hmm. Well, awesome. Well, I guess in wrapping up, I want to kind of give a shout out to your parents and all the
Oh,
parents.
yeah.
And is there anything that you if you may have already told them these things, but that you would tell them about their job as your parent and Leah's parent, and that you appreciate about them?
Yeah, I cannot believe how, like especially my mom because, like, my dad goes to work earlier in the morning. He goes to work at, like, 5 o'clock, I think. So mom, like, deals with, like, getting us ready for the morning and, like, doing our breakfast, and she also wakes up at 3 o'clock to go to the gym, which is crazy.
That
Like,
doesn't surprise me.
I don't think she's human for that, but it's crazy.
Wow.
She goes to the gym yeah, 3 o'clock. She goes to the gym. Um, and she's strong too, she's strong. So, she goes to the gym and she, like, wakes up and she makes us breakfast so that I can so I we have like a bunk bed, we share a room.
Mhm.
So I deal with like getting her up, getting her dressed, and like getting her downstairs so we can eat. And then she like especially during swim season, my mom, she like helps me pack my bag and like with morning practices, she helps like let me know like what I need for the morning. And my dad helps a lot by taking me to practice so she doesn't have to like not go to the gym and like mess up her schedule.
Those are
And
early swim
mhm.
practices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It sucks. So I'm just like amazed at like how my parents like handle things. Like I would like be so stressed out if I had to like do all the things my mom does. It's crazy. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah. Well, I imagine they've made you and Leah both feel really important and really
Mhm.
special in the family. Um, and that's a hard job in itself. That's one of the things that
Oh
we
yeah.
worry about, that
Mhm.
because Leah needs so much extra sometimes, and kind of when she was young, she did too, that we find the perfect balance. And I love that you and your dad get to go hunting and fishing and doing those things that you both love, and that you get to spend time with your mom doing things you both enjoy too. They've carved out that time for you. And I think
Yeah.
that's so awesome that that's something that you point to and remember, and
Mhm.
value in your relationship with them, right?
Yeah. It means a
Aw,
lot to me.
I bet it does. We have great parents. I know
I
firsthand that
do.
they're amazing people.
Mhm.
So it's great. Well, I appreciate you sharing your family with us, and all the great things about Leah. And you're an incredible sister. So I mean, never
Thank
doubt that for
you.
a second, even if you don't, never doubt that, because you're incredible. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share your family story with everyone.
Yeah, me too.
All
Thank
right, well, take
you.
care, and we'll be chatting again soon.
Alright.
Thanks.
Thanks.